What if the color of your eyes hinted at things about your body that you never chose? Your pain sensitivity, your response to alcohol, your risk for certain cancers, even how strangers judge your personality before you say a word. At first glance, that sounds like internet pseudoscience. But inside your iris are genetic patterns tied to melanin, light sensitivity, and the environments your ancestors survived in thousands of years ago. Some eye colors appear to come with subtle biological advantages most people have never heard about, while others carry trade-offs that quietly shape your health and your personality in ways most people never connect back to their eyes. Because your eye color is not just cosmetic, it's one of the oldest survival traits still written into your genetic code. Scientists now know eye color is controlled by dozens of genes in your DNA, far more complex than anything we were taught in school. And those same genes don't just determine your eye color. They may also influence your pain tolerance, your mental health risks, and whether strangers instinctively trust you before you've said a word. If you have brown eyes, your eyes are the blueprint every other eye color evolved from. Long before blue, green, or hazel existed, almost everyone had brown eyes, and that was not an accident. Brown irises are packed with melanin, which absorbs incoming light before it can scatter. Under brutal equatorial sun, that protection was critical. Darker eyes meant sharper vision in intense light, and that likely helped early humans survive. Even today, brown eyes provide stronger natural UV protection than lighter eyes, which may contribute to lower rates of certain UV-related eye diseases over a lifetime. But something maybe even more fascinating is the psychology of brown eyes. Studies show that brown-eyed faces are consistently rated as more trustworthy at first glance, before a single word is even spoken. People who are routinely treated as dependable tend to internalize that identity over time, becoming more collaborative, more comfortable in leadership roles. Your eye color didn't choose your personality, but the way people responded to it might have played a role. After brown eyes came the mutation that changed human eyes forever. Somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago, a single genetic change near a gene called OCA2 reduced melanin in the iris, and for the first time, light scattered back out instead of being absorbed. Blue eyes were born, and despite how vivid they look, there's no blue pigment in the iris at all. What you're seeing is scattered light, the same optical effect that makes the sky appear blue. Less melanin comes with real trade-offs. Blue eyes are more sensitive to sunlight and glare, carry higher lifetime risks of UV-related damage, including certain skin cancers and uveal melanoma. And in one striking study, blue-eyed individuals showed the highest rates of alcohol dependence of any eye color, possibly because pigmentation genes sit close to alcohol-related genes on the same chromosome. The psychology of blue eyes is shaped heavily by cultural idealization. In many parts of the world, blue eyes are treated as striking or exceptional from childhood, and that consistent attention has measurable effects. People who grow up receiving that kind of social signal tend to develop stronger confidence and a heightened awareness of their appearance. But it can cut the other way too, creating a quiet pressure to live up to external expectations. If green eyes seem almost unnatural, that's because they nearly are. Only about 2% of the world has them, and nothing inside the iris is actually green. The color comes from a precise interaction of low melanin, a yellow pigment called pheomelanin, and scattered light. Change any one of those factors, and the green disappears entirely, which is exactly why in different lighting, they can shift from mossy green to gold to almost hazel. Across cultures and centuries, green eyes have triggered the same reaction: suspicion and fascination. During the witch hunts of the 15th through 17th centuries, green eyes were considered a marker of evil, or a witch's mark alongside red hair and freckles. Studies today show people still associate them with mystery, creativity, and maybe a slightly devious personality. Whether that reputation shapes the person who carries it, or simply follows them, is harder to prove. But the social experience of being the one nobody quite figures out tends to leave a mark either way. Hazel irises contain uneven layers of brown, gold, and green, and because of that uneven distribution, they don't just look different in different lighting. They actively change based on pupil size, emotional state, and even the colors you're wearing. When the pupil expands in low light, or during moments of excitement, stress, or attraction, it physically reveals different parts of the iris, shifting the color balance other people see in real time. Hazel eyes offer more UV protection than blue or green, less than dark brown, and a moderate lifetime risk profile for light-related eye conditions. Studies on eye color and personality, including research from Örebro University in Sweden, consistently describe hazel-eyed people as unpredictable and emotionally complex. Over time, being seen as complicated may become a self-fulfilling identity, someone comfortable holding contradictions and resisting easy categorization. Gray eyes are even rarer than green, and unlike every other eye color, they're not primarily defined by pigment at all. Instead of melanin, they're shaped by dense collagen fibers in the iris that scatter light differently, the same process that makes scar tissue appear white. The result is that cold silver or smoky eye color. It's also why the limbal ring tends to appear more pronounced in gray eyes. That sharp dark border makes eye contact feel unusually direct, even from across a room. People with gray eyes are consistently perceived as calm, analytical, and intelligent, a pattern documented across multiple cultures, and one the ancient Greeks formalized by giving their goddess of wisdom, Athena, striking gray eyes. Whether those perceptions shape the person over time is harder to prove, but being consistently read as the composed, insightful one in every room tends to leave a mark, whether you grow into that identity or spend your life quietly surprised that strangers keep expecting you to have all the answers. Amber eyes are often mistaken for hazel, but they're completely different biologically. Hazel shifts between colors because of uneven melanin distribution, while amber stays stable. The color comes from pheomelanin, the same warm golden pigment behind red hair and freckles, creating a solid copper or gold appearance that stays vivid under almost any lighting. Instead of blending into green or brown, amber eyes hold a deep golden tone that reads as almost animal. The same amber shade appears in predatory animals like wolves, owls, and tigers. Our brains are wired to notice that even when we don't consciously register it. A combination of visual rarity, high pupil contrast, and an association with predatory focus that most people can't quite explain. The result is a first impression of intensity that has very little to do with the person's actual behavior. Over time, that tends to push in one of two directions. Either you grow into the commanding role people project onto you, or you spend years trying to soften your presence. Either way, your eye color is setting a social tone before you've said a word. Black eyes are surrounded by myths. In certain lighting, the iris becomes so dark the pupil nearly disappears, creating the illusion of a completely black eye. But true black eyes don't exist. What people call black eyes are extremely dark brown irises with such high melanin concentration that almost no light reflects back out, built for survival in the brightest environments on Earth, absorbing UV radiation in ways lighter eyes simply can't match. The most fascinating thing about very dark eyes is what they do to other people. Human beings constantly read emotion through subtle changes in the eye, pupil dilation, and shifts in iris contrast. Research shows lighter eyes make those signals more visible, which is why light-eyed people are often perceived as more emotionally expressive. With extremely dark eyes, the opposite happens. Those signals nearly vanish, making emotional states difficult to detect from the outside. That creates a powerful and consistent social experience. When others can't get a clear read on your emotional state, reactions vary. Some people find it compelling, others unsettling. Some with very dark eyes grow into that unreadability as a kind of authority. Others develop exceptional warmth, perhaps to counteract an intensity they never chose. Heterochromia affects less than 1% of people, and it's one of the only eye traits that stops strangers mid-conversation. It's a condition where the two eyes carry different amounts of melanin, producing two different colors. That means each eye may be a completely different color, or a patch, or ring. Within one iris may be a different color. With heterochromia, both eyes can carry entirely different melanin profiles, one with the UV profile of a light eye, and the other with the UV profile of a dark eye. The psychology is shaped almost entirely by the visibly different eye colors. Research on facial asymmetry shows it consistently draws attention and alters how others perceive personality. And heterochromia is one of the most visually striking forms of asymmetry a face can have. People with heterochromia may become the person with the eyes before anyone knows anything else about them. For some, never being able to blend in builds genuine comfort with standing out. For others, it creates quiet pressure, a feeling of needing to earn the attention your eyes already brought. So the next time you look someone in the eyes, remember this: you're not just looking at color. You're seeing thousands of years of evolution, survival, and biological trade-offs written directly into the human body. And the strangest part is, most people have no idea how much their eyes are already giving away. What color eyes do you have? And do you notice any of these biological tells in yourself? Let us know in the comments. If you want more science, strategy, the stuff that actually works, make sure you're subscribed to the Wellness Method.